How's it going, folks? Another fun at-home table read. Tonight, we are tackling a truly fun find direct from the pages of Reddit. This is, I'm gonna make sure I get the title right from what he wrote, A Very Muppet Die Hard. So this was a random find online, but this is someone's adaptation of Die Hard with the always loved Muppet cast. I cannot wait to see what this one's gonna be. So let's introduce ourselves.
Hello, I'm George, and I'll be doing the action description.
I'm Chelsea, and I will be Kermit McFrog.
Hola, I am Mary, and I will be the Piggy princess herself.
I'm Logan. I'm going to be reading Gonzo.
I'm Curtis. I'll be reading for Fozzie Bear, Waka Waka.
I'm Hunter, and I just looked at the list, and I'll be reading for Rowlf.
I'm Erik. I will be voicing the role of Swedish chef. Bort, bort.
I'm Jennifer, and I'm Bunsen Malone. I'm just kidding. Honeydew.
I am Johnny. I'll be playing Waldorf.
Hi. Excuse me. I'm Ann, and I'll be doing Statler.
I'm Angie, and I'm the Newsman.
I'm Karina, and I'm Sandy Eagle.
I'm Neshia, and I'll be Rizzo.
Greetings from Earth. I'm Travis, and I'll be playing Bobo.
Travis, whenever you say greetings from Earth, I can't help but think that you're anywhere but there. Anyway, let's get ourselves started. George, take us away.
All right, A Very Muppet Die Hard by, I want to say, Dzido Szoltysek. Shamelessly copied from the Die Hard screenplay by Jeb Stewart and Steve D'Souza, based on the Muppets, created by Jim Henson. Fade in, Los Angeles, late afternoon. We're flying over Los Angeles, a bird's eye view. Lights are beginning to wink on as the day gives way to a burnt orange dusk. Interior 787, passengers. On Kermit, a good-looking frog, a hard-boiled, cold-blooded cop from the East Coast. He's nervous and staring out the window, aggressively biting his nails as the plane is about to touch down.
You don't like flying, do you?
Kermit turns, relieved, as the plane finally touches down.
No, I'm more of an amphibian, to be honest.
The plane begins taxiing to its gate.
You want to know the secret to successful air travel? After you get where you're going, you take off your shoes and socks. Then you walk around on the rug barefoot and make fists with your toes.
Does it work with webbed toes?
Better than a cup of coffee and a hot shower for the old jet lag. I know it sounds crazy. Trust me, I've been doing it for 9 years.
The plane stops. Kermit gets up and reaches for the overhead. He's too short by 6 feet. After several failed attempts at stretching his arms up, the salesman notices. From the salesman's POV, Kermit's Beretta peeking out from his jacket. Kermit smiles and laughs nervously.
Oh, it's okay. Oh, I'm a cop. Trust me, I've been doing it for 11.
The salesman relaxes.
You mind helping me?
Sure, no problem.
It's a bear. Gift I got for someone.
Salesman reaches up to open the overhead luggage. A giant mass tumbles out, landing on salesman and pinning him to the ground. It's Bobo the bear, wearing a very elegant red bow. Bobo gets up and brushes himself off. Salesman remains on the floor.
Maybe you should have bought me a ticket. Is he okay?
He's gonna have to work out that time zone tension.
Kermit and Bobo both shrug and move down the aisle to exit. Cut to interior Borkatomi Plaza, Los Angeles, dusk. Close up on bottle of champagne as the cork is popped to cheers and then poured into flutes. Immediately behind it, a can of meatballs with Swedish chef's face on it is popped and poured into bowls. A large office floor decorated for Christmas. Waiters circle with trays of drinks and piping hot meatballs. Swedish chef stands at the front of the room wearing a chef's hat, a well-tailored suit, and an apron. Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem are playing classical music in the background. Swedish chef, I can't hear you.
Very good bird.
The camera moves to pan past an office door with a nameplate on it, Ms. Piggy. Inside, Ms. Piggy, an attractive go-getting swine dressed in a crisp power suit, is still working. She's being bothered by VP of Sales, Rizzo. Stylish with slick back hair and a clean-cut tiny Armani rat suit, he looks and acts very smooth, bordering on slimy.
Come on. How about dinner?
Rizzo, it's Christmas Eve. Families, stockings, children opening presents. Those ring a bell.
I was thinking more good wine, chocolate, just as roasting on an open fire.
Miss Piggy looks up from her paperwork with the steely-eyed determination and angry assertiveness that has won the Borkatomi Corporation 3 $20 million contracts in the last quarter.
Get out of my office now, or I'll have your chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Rizzo yelps and scurries out of the office. Cut to interior LAX, early evening. Kermit and Bobo exit through security doors into the arrivals terminal. All around them, family reunions are going on as grandparents greet their grown children and grandchildren. Young wives greet soldiers. A group of 30 penguins uproariously greet a single penguin overburdened with luggage. Kermit watches, moved by the sight, but he sees no family waiting for him. Instead, he spots a brown dog with big fluffy ears, Rowlf, in the chauffeur's uniform with a large piano necktie. He's holding a sign with a picture of a frog on it, hand-drawn in green dry erase marker. Kermit pauses in front of him.
Oh, hello. I'm a frog.
Rowlf flips his sign around. He squints and studies the picture, then studies Kermit. Studies the picture again, and then back to Kermit. Apparently satisfied, he offers his hand.
Oh, Rowlf, you're a limo driver.
He turns and starts walking.
Hey, don't you usually take this stuff?
Oh, sorry, man. This is my first time driving a limo. This job is not what I really do. I play keyboards.
Rowlf walks over to grab Bobo, who shakes him off.
Get your paws off me, you stink. Oh, I'm all right walking. Thank you very much.
Cut to exterior with the limo, dusk. Tilt up from the hood of the limo. Both Rowlf and Kermit are in the front seat. Bobo is in the back, digging through the minibar.
Mind if I play some tunes?
No, go right ahead.
Rowlf pulls a mini piano onto his lap, seemingly out of nowhere, and immediately begins playing the first few bars of Beethoven's Ninth. Cut to looking down on limo from outside as it suddenly swerves across 4 lanes of traffic. Cut back to inside the limo, Kermit and Bobo, now holding a drink with an umbrella, scream as they're tossed to one side. Angry honking and screeching tires are heard. Rowlf chucks the piano across the car as he reaches for the steering wheel, wrestling the car back into its lane.
You know what? How about some Christmas music instead?
Exterior Borkatomi Plaza, Los Angeles, dusk. Tilt down from the well-lit brand new Borkatomi Plaza tower as the limo pulls up. The top of the building, shaped like a white chef's hat, cuts a striking shape against the burnt orange sky. Kermit stares up at the building, looking nervous.
Worried about the missus?
Yes. She can be prone to outbursts.
Listen, your friend in here and I will wait in the parking lot. If she karate chops you, come down and we'll get you to a hotel.
Rowlf hands Kermit a card with his number on it. It reads Rowlf, professional musician.
Oh, all right, I suppose.
Kermit gets out of the limo and heads into the building. Interior Borkatomi lobby, dusk. Beautiful and deserted. A sound in the sterile lobby reveals the presence of a security guard, hidden until now behind a massive desk. Kermit goes to sign in.
I'm here for Piggy?
The guard points to the touchscreen display.
What do I do with this?
Just type it in there.
Okay.
Screen closer. Kermit types in Piggy. Pause. The screen replies, no such employee listed. Kermit frowns, thinks. He types again, this time Ms. Piggy. The screen changes to show directions to the elevator bank on the 30th floor.
Ms., huh?
He heads to the elevators. Interior elevator, dusk. Kermit hits 30 and reacts nervously as the elevator quickly accelerates. As it approaches the 30th floor, we hear the ever-growing sounds of a party. Music, laughter, and the drone of idle chatter. The elevator dings to signal its arrival. The doors open and the noise attacks us. Interior 30th floor, dusk. Kermit moves around the edge of the party, passing a giant Christmas tree and walls adorned in snowflake and mustache decorations. A waiter walking by offers him a bowl of meatballs. He looks at it quizzically before waving the waiter away.
No, thank you. I'm not a big meat eater. Little meat only. Flies.
A female Muppet grabs him by the shoulder and spins him around, giving him a kiss on the cheek. Before he can even blush a bright green, a male Muppet spins him in the opposite direction, planting a giant kiss on his lips.
Merry Christmas, man.
The male Muppet melts back into the crowd, leaving Kermit stunned and frozen in place.
Oof. Gee whiz. California, huh?
His head in the clouds, Kermit stumbles through the party, disappearing into the crowd as the camera pans to the dance floor. 3 couples are dancing in the middle of the room under a chandelier. Couple number 1.
You know what they call Christmas in Sweden?
I have no idea.
Both mug to the camera. Couple number 2.
Under the mistletoe, you know what that means?
What?
It means you can plant one on me.
If you say so.
No.
Monster number 1 closes his eyes and puckers up for a kiss. Monster number 2 hits monster number 1 across the room. Couple number 3. We see monster number 1 fly across the dance floor in the background.
There's no chimney in this tower for Santa to come in through.
Don't worry. There'll be some smoking holes in this building soon enough.
What makes you say that?
I read the script.
Both mug to the camera. Cut to Kermit, who is still making his way through the party before he bumps into Swedish Chef, who has an air of authority about him, but becomes very amicable on seeing Kermit.
Yes? Hello? Yes, hi. I'm looking for Miss Piggy.
Swedish Chef laughs and puts his arm around Kermit, leading him down a hallway away from the party. They reach Miss Piggy's office and open the door. Interior Miss Piggy's office. Rizzo and Animal are behind the desk. A spoon with a huge amount of sugar is in Animal's hand. A sugar bowl on the desk. The duo look up, caught in the act. Rizzo sweeps his arm across the desk, sending the sugar bowl flying against the one wall, while Animal tosses the spoon against the other. The two try to appear as nonchalant as a sugar and caffeine-addled monster and rat can.
Hi. I just had to make a quick call. This was the nurse phone.
Rizzo rises from the desk. Animal ups and leaves the room.
Bird is a smoking. This burger addiction. There, Kermit.
Oh, hello. Quite the celebration out there. Didn't know the Swedes celebrate Christmas.
Actually, it's kind of a double celebration. We closed a big deal today, and a lot of what was due to Piggy.
The files have been sent in.
The door opens behind the trio. Miss Piggy enters carrying important documents.
Okay, the files have been sent in. Kermit? Oh, my Kermit!
Miss Piggy jumps on Kermit, showering him with kisses. After a moment, she gets up, leaving him in a pile on the floor.
And that's all you get. I'm still angry at you.
The ensuing awkward silence is broken as Rizzo bursts in between the couple, excited to show off the company's opulence.
Show him the watch, Piggy.
Oh, it's nothing.
Come on, show it. A little token of our appreciation.
She holds her dainty pink wrist out, showing a massive gold watch.
It's
Gee, that's awfully pretty. Say, Piggy, you kind of took it out of me there. Is there a place I can wash up?
I suppose. Follow me.
They leave together. Exterior Borkatami Plaza at night. We see a Gonz family farms truck, a large logo of a basket of eggs on its side, as it turns into the underground parking garage in Borkatami Plaza. Interior parking garage. It goes down the ramp and passes Rowlf's limo. The driver's seat of the limo is empty. Interior limo, same. Rowlf sits in the back, hidden from the world by the dark tinted windows. He's smoking a cigar, playing cards, and having drinks with Bobo. Bach is playing in the background. They don't notice the truck passing by. Interior parking garage, same. The truck stops in front of the service elevator and idles. We see POV of the driver in the truck. A single chicken wing rests on the steering wheel. The driver waits. Interior private bathroom upstairs on 30th floor, night. Tilt up from Kermit's bare feet. He's clenching and unclenching his webbed toes in a thick woolly rug.
Son of a toad. It works.
Suddenly the rug moves. Rising up, it towers over Kermit, who leaps onto his chair. The rug is actually Sweetums, clearly inebriated with a loose tie around his neck, his passed out sleep having just been disturbed.
Hey, I was sleeping there.
Sweetums leaves in a huff, mumbling to himself about privacy and crazy frogs rubbing toes in his back. Kermit composes himself, stepping down from the chair as Miss Piggy enters.
Sir Kermit, I've been doing quite well at the company, and you may have guessed, a successful business lady.
Oh, gee, Piggy, that's great. You've been getting a lot of sales?
They say I really bring home the bacon.
Kermit deadpans an unimpressed face at the camera as a cymbal crash sound is heard in the background. Kermit and Piggy look to the office door. The sound of the crash was animals striking a cymbal. He mugs at the couple but beats a hasty retreat on seeing he's not wanted.
The band was looking for that extra cymbal.
The door opens yet again and Scooter leans inside with a headset and clipboard.
It's Piggy. The boss is looking for you. He wants you to say something to the troops.
Ha! The adoring fans beckon. I'll be just a moment. Kermit.
She leaves with an extravagant swirl, leaving Kermit to himself. Interior building lobby, same time. The guard at the front desk notices the truck on his monitor. He doesn't notice. Camera pans up to reveal Bunsen and Beaker, dressed all in black, moving across the ceiling with suction pads. Ever so quietly, they inch their way along the ceiling until they are directly above the guard. Bunsen begins to attach a rope mechanism to the ceiling so that they can rappel down. Beaker waits silently, but suddenly notices that his suction pads are losing grip. One by one, they begin to go, and the others are worried and questioning meep with each detachment. As the last one gives way, he falls with a loud scream, landing directly on the guard, knocking him out. Bunsen quietly and calmly rappels down after.
Great improvising, Beaker.
Looking at the security footage of the truck, he takes out a walkie-talkie and speaks into it.
We're in.
On the screen, the rear doors of the truck open and a dozen chickens spill out. They begin unloading wooden crates by the service elevator. Interior private bathroom upstairs on the 30th floor. Kermit pulls out the car with Rowlf's number on. He pulls out his cell phone and dials. Rowlf picks up. We hear music blasting through the phone.
Rowlf?
Interior limo. Rowlf reclining on the seat smoking a cigar. Bobo is dancing to the music in the background.
What page are we on? Mr. Kermit? Hello?
Interior private bathroom upstairs on the 30th floor.
Here's your phone. Kermit, what's the word? Did she go easy on you?
Well, not exactly.
Interior building lobby. Bunsen turns to a second computer at the guard's desk while Beaker stands nervously behind him. Bunsen types in a few commands.
And with that, we will be locked down.
We see heavy steel gates to the parking garage closing. Satisfied with his work, Bunsen is suddenly reminded of something.
Yes, one more thing.
Bunsen looks under the desk. He spots a black box labeled Wi-Fi router and yanks out the cord. Interior private bathroom upstairs on the 30th floor. Kermit looks down at his cell phone. It's flashing the words no Wi-Fi. Interior limo. Rowlf looks at the phone.
Mr. Kermit. Hello.
He turns down the volume and looks at his phone, which also says no Wi-Fi. Bobo stops dancing and turns to look.
Hey, what's the deal?
Rowlf shrugs, turns the music back up, and returns to partying with Bobo. Interior service elevator. The shop begins at ground level. A pair of fuzzy blue feet surrounded by a half dozen pairs of chicken feet. Panning up, we see Gonz Gruber, dressed impeccably in a dark blazer and dark blue bow tie. Handsome for a blue Muppet. Surrounded by chicken henchmen and henchwomen. They each hold menacing rifles loaded with eggs. The group enters the elevator, and on approaching the 30th floor, we hear the noise of the music growing louder. The chickens cluck quietly to each other and to no one in particular. The car stops and the doors open. The chickens spill out, clucking aggressively, feathers flying as they attack the partygoers. On the sound of clucking and screams, we cut to interior private bathroom. Kermit grabs his shoulder harness off the back of the chair, moves quickly to the doorway, and looks down the hall. Kermit's POV. Two aggressive chickens are moving down the hallway, searching offices in the hall one by one. They break down one door, look in, animatedly cluck to one another, and move quickly to the next door. They are 4 offices away and moving fast. Kermit looks across the corridor and sees the stairwell door across from him. He steps back, braces himself, peers through the crack at interior hallway. Quick cuts as Kermit checks to see where the chickens are. The pair of chickens reach the office just before Kermit's hiding spot. They throw open the door to a pair of Muppets almost in the throes of passionate Muppet lovemaking. As the chickens enter the room clucking violently, we see down the temporarily empty hallway. Kermit makes his move. His body flies across the hall from its hiding place to the stairwell with a very Kermit-like yelp. A moment later, we see the libertine Muppets scramble out of the office, covering themselves with loose clothes. They're pushed out down the hall towards the larger group as the chickens finally head to the bathroom Kermit had been in. They open the door and it's empty. Interior stairwell. Close on Kermit's bare feet, padding quickly up the concrete stairs as he huffs and puffs. Interior 30th floor, hostage floor. The employees have been herded to the center of the room. Many people and Muppets are whimpering or holding on to each other. Gonz steps up to the front of the crowd, flanked by a menacing Camilla the chicken, and looks out over the group. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a notebook, checking his own scribblings.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, due to the Borkatomi Corporation's legacy of culinary greed around the globe, I, the great Gonz Gruber, will teach it a lesson. Now, where is Mr. Swedish Chef?
No one in the crowd moves. The large Swedish-looking chef's hat wearing Swedish chef is about to step forward, but it's held back by Miss Piggy's dainty hoof. Gonz slams his notebook shut, places his hands behind his back, and begins to recite from memory the biography of the man he's looking for as he slowly walks through the crowd.
Mr. Sven Swedish Shepperson. Born Stockholm, 1967. Graduate of Culinary Arts, IKEA Meatball University, 1985.
Gonz glares at Rizzo as he passes by him. Rizzo shakes uncontrollably out of fear.
Masters in Borking. Volvo Ericsson College, 1989. President, Borkatomi Corporation.
Swedish chef has had enough of his performance. He steps forward to announce himself. Gonz stops in front of the Swedish chef.
How do you do? It's a pleasure to meet you.
Gonz signals to his chickens and they surround the Swedish chef, taking him away. The camera adjusts to show Ms. Piggy, concerned and angry. Interior service elevator night. Gonz, Bunsen, Beaker, and Camilla the chicken ride up the elevator with the Swedish chef in silence. Gonz seems relaxed.
Nice apron. Pottery barn?
Swedish chef stares at him, speechless.
I have two myself. Now I've told Martha Stewart shops there too.
Interior conference room, boardroom floor, night. Gonz enters admiring the large model in the middle of the room, a giant plastic lasagna dish covered in meatballs. Behind him are photos of other Swedish delicacies, pickled herring, fried herring, knackebröd. A separate wall has framed covered shots of Swedish chef from numerous famous business magazines like Forbes and Swedish Forbes.
It's beautiful. I always enjoyed models as a boy. The attention to every detail, perfection. I can taste the tomato sauce.
Bunsen, that's not Bunsen.
Gonz puts a friendly arm around Swedish Chef's shoulders and guides him to the boardroom table, sitting him down. Bunsen opens a built-in computer console. He's typing in commands.
Mr. Chef, we could discuss apron fashion and tomato sauces all day, but I'm afraid my associate, Mr. Bunsen, has some questions for you. Fill in the blank questions.
Jump cut. A computer screen shows a smiling ASCII code image of the Swedish chef holding a wooden spoon scroll by. Then the words Borkatami Corporation, Special Swedish Vault Workstation. Enter password to unlock. Bunsen sits with fingers poised over the keyboard. Gonz sits opposite. Swedish chef reads the screen. He blurts out, Kermit entering the conference floor. He tiptoes along and can hear mumbling voices from the conference room. He moves slowly towards it. Conference room resumed.
Mr. Chef, the code, please.
Gonz slowly takes out an egg rifle, struggling to grip it. It goes off accidentally, shooting an egg across the room, hitting the Forbes magazine cover with the Swedish chef on it. The glass shatters and the frame drops to the floor. Gonz looks from the smashed frame to the Swedish chef.
This is too nice an apron to ruin with ingredients, Chef. I'm going to count to 3 and...
Before he can finish, he accidentally fires off another egg. Gonz looks in the direction it went, then back to the Swedish chef.
I said, I'm going to count to...
An egg shoots off accidentally.
I'm going...
Another egg.
2.
Another egg.
Okay, my mistake. Sweaty palms. Ah! Anyway, I'm just going to put this down for now.
He gingerly places the gun on the table, and as he lets go, it shoots off an egg towards the glass doors of the boardroom. Cut to outside the boardroom. Kermit is ducking at the door. He reacts as if shot. The glass doors near his head are splattered in yolk and dripping. Back to Gonz, clearly not touching the gun on the table.
Now, again, I will count to 3. There will not be a 4. Give me the code. Okay.
Gonz picks up the gun, points it at the Swedish chef, and pulls the trigger. Cut to Kermit peeks through a crack in the door into the boardroom. He gasps. His POV. Still in the chair, Swedish chef is bombarded by egg after egg. He falls flat backwards, unconscious, covered in eggshells and yolk. Gonz springs to his feet.
Now, fine. We can do it the hard way. Now, can you two break the code?
Yes, yes. Between my brains and Beaker's brawn, we should have no problem with the first few locks.
Gonz smiles, confident in his team. Interior 32nd floor. Kermit moves out of the stairwell onto an empty floor full of kitchen equipment. He checks his surroundings nervously, angry at himself.
Oh boy, Kermit, why didn't you stop him?
He pauses, leaning against a wall to gather himself.
Think, Frog, think.
He's deep in thought for a few seconds. Suddenly,
that's it.
A light bulb turns on above his head, surprising him. Cut to the other end of the room. George, the janitor, has just flicked on a light switch for the room, his mop and bucket ready.
My mistake. I like to finish.
He turns the light back off and slips back out the door as if terrorists weren't taking over the building. Back to Kermit watching him go. Then he turns to the fire alarm on the wall and pulls it. Cut to fire station. We see a group of fire trucks pulling out, sirens wailing, on their way to a call at Borkatami Plaza. Interior boardroom. Gonz sees the fire trucks down the street.
It's always something. Call 911 and cancel the alarm. Tell them it was a bug in the system. Now, which floor did the alarm go off on?
Interior unfinished floor. Kermit stands silhouetted against the window. The red fire trucks that he's seen in the distance suddenly turn off their lights and turn back to the station.
Oh boy, this ain't good.
The elevator bell rings and the door is open, causing Kermit to spin around. We see a chicken with a gun slip into the shadows, and we move with it until it reaches the light switch, flipping it on with a wing to illuminate the floor. Kermit is nowhere to be seen. On Kermit under a desk, his POV. He sees chicken feet slowly moving in his direction. Looking up, he sees a series of tables he can make it to if the chicken doesn't see him. The chicken moves towards the area where we saw Kermit. It steps up to Kermit's desk, then quickly ducks under, letting loose a barrage of eggs. The space is empty. It looks up and listens. Hearing a sound coming from the other end of the floor near the tables. The chicken heads in that direction, carefully checking each corner it passes. Coming closer to the noise, it tenses and turns to look. Chicken's POV. A large food mixer that is spinning noisily. The chicken sighs to himself and moves to turn it off, not realizing the sound has buried the soft rustle of Kermit's webbed footsteps as he moves into frame behind the chicken. Kermit shoves his pistol into the chicken's back.
Freeze, poultry, police.
Suddenly the chicken spins. The chicken's momentum slams Kermit into a fridge, sending his pistol into the hall and food from the now open fridge sprawling all over the floor. Kermit shakes off the hit and looks up, only to immediately dodge an egg that splats against the fridge, inches from his head. Kermit gets up and lunges at the chicken. They struggle and crash through a door to the stairwell landing, falling down the concrete steps. They roll down together as a single mass. Kermit's yelps mix with chicken's clucking as they bounce down the stairs before slamming into a wall. A single egg that has followed their tumble flies through the air and careens towards the back of Kermit's head. At the last second, he rolls away to show the chicken's face directly in the path of the egg. The chicken screams aloud, "Baka!" before the egg gets unconscious. Kermit gets up and is suddenly distracted by a hissing sound. He looks to the ground where the chicken's backpack is laying. A walkie-talkie, fuses, cigarettes, and a box of bird feed have spilled out. Interior 32nd floor. Kermit has tied up the chicken and put it on a swivel chair. He's taken the backpack and walkie-talkie. As he's pushing the chair towards the elevator, he notices the wide-open fridge and its contents on the floor. Then his eyes fall on some Christmas decorations. He formulates a plan.
'Tis the season, I suppose.
He grabs a bottle of ketchup and a Santa hat and continues pushing the chair towards the elevator. Interior hostage floor. The hostages have been gathered together in a group in the center of the open floor. Chickens menacingly patrol the room and the corridors, egg-filled rifles at the ready. Gonz stands in front of the group like a stern camp counselor.
I wanted this to be professional, to put on a top-notch show. Alas, your Swedish chef did not see it that way, so he won't be joining us for the rest of his life. Ah!
The crowd gasps. A Muppet hostage faints hearing the news. Meanwhile, a chicken quickly leans over and whispers in Gonz's ear.
Oh, really? Well, he's very resilient, I see. Apparently, he's just concussed. Very badly, though, I can assure you.
The Muppet who had fainted gets back up.
Nonetheless, he won't be joining us until at least tomorrow afternoon.
The crowd gasps. The Muppet hostage who had just stood up faints again.
Yes, he will definitely be needing bed rest. Remember that I, the great Gonz, have planned this out to a T. I am in complete control.
A dinging sound announces the arrival of the elevator. Gonz and the chickens whirl around. Hostages begin screaming. We see inside the elevator. The unconscious chicken sits tied to the swivel chair, a jaunty Santa hat on its head. The chickens usher the screaming hostages away to the next room as Gonz enters the elevator. He sees some words scrawled in red on the chicken's chest. Looking closely, he reads,
Ho, ho, ho. Now you have egg on your face.
Gonz runs a finger over the words and then licks it.
Is that ketchup? I need to find out who did this.
Interior elevator shaft, roof of elevator, same time. Kermit is staring at the scene below through a grate at the top of the elevator. He quietly pulls out a marker from his pocket, takes off the cap with his mouth, and starts to write in his weather-beaten cop's notebook. Number of hostages, 30. Leader, Gonz. The cap falls out of his mouth through the grate. He gasps. Intercut. Gonz sees a pen cap fall to the ground and picks it up.
Did one of you drop this? Gonna need it. Your pen will dry out.
Kermit stares at the scene, relieved that he hasn't been found out. Suddenly, his pen drops to the grate as well. He gasps. Gonz picks up the pen.
Well, there it is. Now at least it won't dry out. Who says this? Fess up! Who's got the sloppy chicken fingers?
In quick succession, we see more objects fall through the grate and hit the ground. 2 more pens, random loose change, keys with a plastic keychain in the shape of Kermit's face, a sandwich? Kermit.
I was wondering where that was.
Gonz is still oblivious to the source of the items.
Well, whoever it is, just make sure you clean up this mess before I come back.
He leaves the elevator. Interior elevator shaft, car roof on Kermit. On top of the car, listening to the conversation below. Two chickens step into the car and the doors close. The car accelerates upward and Kermit grabs onto the heavy cables to keep his balance. The car stops at the machine floor. Kermit looks up. Kermit's POV. A metal catwalk runs around the inside of the elevator shaft. Kermit pulls himself up onto it. He moves across the catwalk and passes through a door marked roof access. Exterior roof, night. Coming out onto the roof, Kermit climbs to the top of the helipad. He pulls out the walkie-talkie and starts broadcasting.
Mayday! Mayday! Terrorist chickens have seized Borkatami Plaza. They're holding hostages and really putting a damper on the Christmas party. I say again.
Interior Gonz's office. Gonz, Camilla the chicken, and others hear Kermit's message over the walkie-talkies.
Unknown number of chickens, free range, sharpened beaks. Somebody answer me, damn it!
Camilla looks at Gonz.
The roof! It's the best place to transmit!
Camilla and chickens move out. Exterior roof helipad. Kermit moves around the roof, circling the helipad, making sure he has a good enough view to avoid being ambushed.
Sir, this is an emergency line.
Do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza? The pizza does sound good. Great right now. I'm still off carbs for the month though. Well, I could make it my cheat day, or maybe get a gluten-free dough.
Sir, are you still there?
You're right. Cancel the pizza. The terrorists are still here. They've already cracked a few eggs and they've got a dozen more. Send police back up. No!
Kermit suddenly screams as eggs ricochet off the wall behind him. He ducks behind a vent, spotting two chickens moving towards him. Interior 7-Eleven at the counter, night. Tight as one after another, joke prop is piled on the counter at the cash register. Rubber chickens, glasses with mustaches, water squirting flowers, and then a single Twinkie on top. Camera widens and we see the young clerk with a confused look. The customer is Fozzie, handsome, furry police veteran and struggling comedian.
Oh, hey, they're from my comedy act. Big show Saturday night.
The clerk nods, feigning understanding but still visibly confused. Realizing he has a captive audience, Fozzie strikes.
Hey, you seem like a man who likes the funny. You should come half-price tickets.
Before he can go on, his radio crackles.
Shh, dispatch to Bear 1, over. Shh.
Fozzie grabs the radio, speaks into it as the clerk packs up the props.
Bear 1, waka waka.
Shh. 814 at Borkatami Plaza. Please investigate, over. Shh.
Bear 1, 10-4, at 814 from 7-Eleven at 912 over.
Shh. What? Shh.
Fozzie looks up blankly, befuddled by his own statement.
I don't know. I'm on my way.
He tosses his bag of goods into his police cruiser, the chickens landing with a squeak, and he peels out. Interior top floor, Borkatami Plaza. Kermit bursts through the door, running back inside the building from the roof, screaming. He's chased by angry, clucking chickens. Picking his way over the same ground as a few minutes before, he enters the maintenance room that houses the elevator shaft, closing the door behind him. The elevator's gone. The wide open chasm of the shaft looms before him. He sees some light below from the next floor down. Maybe he can reach it. Nervously, he looks back at the door, hearing the chickens approach. He glances down the elevator shaft again, weighing his options. He inches forward towards the shaft, hesitates, shakes his head and changes his mind, reassesses. Turns to the door, then back to the shaft. He's frozen in indecision. The chickens burst through the door, slamming it open into Kermit, sending him flying down the elevator shaft, screaming. Interior elevator shaft. Falling, Kermit grabs the ledge of an air duct, and his body slams into the aluminum wall with an echoing boom. He holds on with all of his strength. POV from inside the air duct. We see Kermit's tiny green fingers just barely holding on. With every ounce of strength, he pulls himself up and into the dark, narrow shaft. Inching forward, he pauses, realizing it's too dark. He struggles to reach his hands back in the narrow confines of the air duct, finally managing to grab his lighter. He lights it in front of himself, illuminating his face.
Come out to the coast. We'll get together. have a few laughs.
He inches forward.
The pond would have been nicer.
Exterior Borkatami Plaza driveway, night. The street is dark, quiet. A lone police car pulls out of the shadows, driving up the long, empty driveway to the front door of the building. On Fozzie, driving alone. He stares up at the tower. It seems calm. He stops at the glass front doors and scans the premises. In the lobby, we see a lone chicken wearing a security guard cap, sitting behind the security desk, feet up. Fozzie reports on the radio.
Bear 1 here. No signs of disturbance. I'm going up for a closer look. Bear with me. Waka waka.
He laughs to himself.
Did you get that, dispatch? I said bear, but I meant it like... Never mind. Back in jiff.
He pulls in and parks in the front. Interior 34th floor. Kermit punches out a ceiling vent. He looks around cautiously, surveying the floor in silence, making sure no one is around. Attempting to get out, he crashes to the floor with a scream, immediately jumping to his feet, looking around embarrassed. He makes his way to the window and looks down at the driveway. His POV, Fozzie's car.
Ow.
All right.
He waits expectantly.
One fair cop? We could do with a whole slew.
Exterior front lobby of Borkatami. Fozzie knocks on the front doors of the lobby. The chicken security guard buzzes him in, and he enters, strolling up to the desk. Bland holiday music plays from the speakers.
Evening, officer.
The chicken turns away from the TV. A nature documentary about farms still playing. It stares blankly at Fozzie. The silence is uncomfortable.
We got an emergency call that there was a problem? Big call? No, it was a short one. Frankly, it could have been a prank call if you ask me. Gee, I'd rather be at home with a good book too. You know what, maybe this really was just a false alarm.
He looks around. The night is late. He doesn't want to dig any deeper.
Well, guy, seems awful quiet to me. If you see anything, just give us a shout. We got a comedian here. Listen, I'm doing a show on Saturday. Swing by with jokes like that. Maybe I could get you a spot. All right. Jeez, I was just trying to help. Anyway, sorry to waste your time. Merry Christmas.
Fozzie leaves. Interior 34th floor boardroom. Kermit sees Fozzie heading for his car.
Oh, gee, please, no.
Desperate, he looks around, grabbing a chair and slamming it against the window, cracks appearing on the glass. Suddenly, he hears a baka from behind. The slamming has attracted a chicken who enters the room to apprehend Kermit. Kermit turns and screams as the chicken rushes at him, clucking all the way. As the chicken dives, Kermit ducks, the chicken smashing through the cracked window. Interior Fozzie's police car. Fozzie gets back in the car, humming a Christmas carol to himself.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
He checks in on the radio.
Bear 1 to dispatch. Wild goose chase over here. Good thing I came out for a gander. Waka waka.
Fozzie sits staring at his radio, waiting for a laugh.
Thank you, Bear 1. Over. Shh.
Come on, I'm dying out here.
Suddenly, a falling chicken crashes under the hood of his car. It jumps up with a startled "ah" before running off.
This is Bear 1. I'm dying out here.
Shh. Roger, Bear 1. Get better jokes. Over. Shh.
Suddenly, a barrage of eggs raining down from the third floor drowns out his call. Fozzie ducks as the eggs blow out the front window, showering him in glass, eggshells, and yolk.
No, I'm mad. I'm under attack by some sort of flying fowl.
Fozzie accelerates in reverse away from the building as the eggs continue raining down, hitting the hood of the car and the asphalt. The car runs off the pavement and down a slope, bouncing to a jarring halt. Fozzie clutches the mic.
Bear 1, under fire on Bunsen Plaza. Requesting immediate assistance. They're turning my car to a Swiss cheese omelet.
Interior 34th floor. Kermit looks down at Fozzie and waves.
Welcome to the party, pal. Gee, hope that guy is all right.
Exterior Borkatami Plaza, night. Sirens wail as the first police cars begin to arrive on scene to support Fozzie. Interior Gonz's office. Gonz and his chickens confer.
Look, stay at your post. Don't fly the coop yet. We knew police action would be inevitable.
He smiles.
In fact, it's necessary. Ha!
Suddenly, the walkie-talkie on the desk crackles to life.
I told all of you. I want radio silence until further.
Interior 34th floor boardroom. Kermit, looking down sheepishly at the walkie-talkie that he's accidentally turned on.
Sorry, I'm having to deal with a cat. Whoops.
Looking around nervously, he keys the walkie-talkie on again.
Oh, sorry, that was me, guys. I didn't notice I turned this thing on.
In the Gonz's office, the chickens react startled as someone has one of their walkie-talkies.
Oh, how nice of you to call. I assume you are a mysterious party crasher. Someone with experience with dealing with chickens and eggs. Most troublesome for a poultry farmer.
Interior 34th floor on Kermit intercut. Kermit walks down the corridor, eyes panning from elevator shaft to the stairwell doors.
Sorry, Gonz. Wrong guess. No farms in the swamps where I was raised.
Well, who are you then?
Just a fly in the ointment, Gonz.
Kermit pauses, looking at his stomach as it rumbles and licks his lips, thinking about that fly.
Mr. Mystery Guest, are you still there?
I wouldn't think of leaving, Gonz, unless you want to open the front door.
I'm afraid not. But you have me at a loss. You know my name, the Great Gonz! But, as you should, of course. But who are you? Just another American who saw too many movies as a kid? An orphan of a bankrupt culture who thinks he's John Wayne or Rambo?
No, actually, I've always been more a fan of musicals. You know, Chorus Line, Mamma Mia.
Intercut. Gonz sits up, surprised and excited. A fellow connoisseur of the arts?
Me too!
Yeah, I really dig those sequin shirts.
In one motion, Gonz rips off his suit to reveal a sequin shirt underneath, the name Gonz emblazoned in shiny letters.
Same! Ah, the stage, the crowd, the stars, and so many shows to choose from!
Yeah, you know, I've always been partial to Oklahoma.
Where the wind comes sweeping down the plain!
A chicken beside Gonz clucks aggressively, snapping him out of his legs, reminding Gonz that he's fraternizing with the enemy.
Oh, right, yes. Do you really think you have a chance with us, Mr. Cowboy?
Cut to Kermit. A light blinks on the elevator.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother frogger.
Kermit goes quietly through the stairwell door and is gone by the time the search party steps onto the floor. Gonz sits quietly, thinking.
Bunsen!
Intercut. Interior safe room with Bunsen and Beaker. Bunsen speaks into the walkie-talkie as he stands beside the giant drill controls. He's drilled 2 holes in the safe and is working on a third. The entire time he's speaking, we see Beaker in the background, nervously monitoring the drill as it continues spinning loudly.
Yes, hello.
We may have some problems. Are you still on schedule?
Bunsen looks down at his computer screen, which shows a schematic of the safe and blinking icons showing doors number 1 and 2 disabled.
Yes, sir, everything progressing nominally.
As he's speaking, in the background, we see the drill suddenly shoot out sparks and smoke. Beaker jumps frightened. He attempts to slow the drill down.
Okay, let me know if there are any issues.
Bunsen continues monitoring his screen, still oblivious to the scene behind him. In the background, Beaker's lab coat has somehow become tangled in the drill bit. The machine is continuing to drill into the safe, but now with Beaker dizzyingly spinning along with it, screaming with each revolution.
Everything is under control down here, Mr. Gonz. No need to worry.
Suddenly, all react as the walkie-talkie broadcasts Fozzie's voice.
This is Fozzie Bear, the police. If the person who radioed for help can hear me, acknowledge this transmission.
Interior 33rd floor on Kermit, night.
I read you, Fozzie. You the guy in the car?
Intercut, exterior police operations trailer. Fozzie stands in front of his destroyed cruiser and looks up at the building as he takes off his hat and shakes the egg off of it. Behind him, police officers and officials are arriving from all directions.
The guy covered in yolk, that's me. Can you identify yourself?
Intercut. Gonzo is listening intently.
Maybe later. Just listen fast, because this is a party line. Neighbors are trigger happy. There are 30 hostages on the 30th floor. Probably 2 or 3 guards to cover them. The leader is named Gonz. Blue nose, well-dressed, fan of stage shows.
Intercut with Kermit.
I'm a man of stage myself. You know I have a show on Saturday night if you're interested.
Fozzie, focus! I need help here!
Right. The whole terrorist thing. Okay. How many are there?
Baker's dozen, but 3 have flown the coop. They're down to 9, including the flightless bird you already met. These guys are mostly European chickens, judging by the well-trimmed beaks, expensive plumage, and well-financed and very slick.
How do you know?
I've been in enough cluck fights in my time to recognize a quality pecking.
All right, partner. If you think anything else, don't be shy, okay?
They're all yours, Fozzie. Good luck.
Kermit turns off his walkie-talkie and sits against the wall. Exterior police operations trailer night. An unmarked police car pulls up across the street from Borkatami Plaza. Sam the Eagle steps out. He pauses, striking a majestic pose, staring off into the sky as the wind gently ruffles his feathers. He is Deputy Chief of Police Operations. Moving brusquely past the police technicians, he goes to the forward group of officers, where he once again strikes a stoic pose before asserting his authority.
Who here is talking to the perpetrators?
Fozzie turns around.
I am, sir. Officer Fozzie Bear. I've been on the radio with them.
Well, how does it look?
It's black and has this long antenna. Do you want to see it?
I meant the situation.
Well, we haven't heard from the terrorists yet.
Then who have you been talking to?
We don't know exactly. We don't exactly know, sir. He won't give us a name. He appears to be the one who called in a report and dropped a chicken onto my car.
A chicken? Officer Fozzie, has it occurred to you that he could be one of the terrorists? Some kind of unpatriotic weirdo who?
I don't think so, sir. In fact, I think he's a cop.
How do you know?
A hunch. Things he said, like his knowledge of poultry, how he described the terrorist's pecking order.
Knowledge of poetry? Is he a cop or a farmer? And more importantly, does red, white, and blue blood course through his veins? Does he stand before Old Glory singing its praises? They will, letting the terrorists know that they will not prevail as long as we remain united.
He stops suddenly, noticing that everyone is staring at him uncomfortably.
I mean, he could be a bartender for all we know.
Something draws Sam the Eagle's attention. He looks at his POV remote news truck, pulling up and parking just beyond the barricades. The newsman gets out, starts supervising the positioning of cameras. Back to scene.
Gosh darn it.
Interior hostage floor. Gonz is looking out the window at the growing collection of police and news vans. He turns to the TV on the wall, turned to the news, showing the same scene from outside. Closer on the TV. A slide, special bulletin has appeared. This changes to a shot of the Borkatami Tower. The chyron below the shot reads Swedish skyscraper siege, meatball futures, spike and after hours trading.
Here's a Muppet newsflash. We are live at Borkatami Plaza, where the city has joined the sad but worldwide fraternity whose membership requirement is the fact that they have been terrorized by a group of heavily armed chickens.
Another TV screen. As the newsman continues, we pull back. We're with Bobo and Rowlf in the back of the limo.
That can't be good.
Maybe it's not that serious.
The news report goes on.
The situation is very serious, and anyone remaining in the building is in immediate danger.
A dramatic chord plays in the background.
Looks like we should split.
He goes to turn on the ignition.
We are told all parking garage doors have been locked, and anyone inside cannot, in fact, split.
A dramatic chord plays again.
Okay. Well, I'll ram through the doors then.
The doors are equipped to stop any car or truck from breaking through. Truly, anyone inside is now fully, completely, and absolutely trapped.
A dramatic chord plays a third time. Rowlf looks up, frightened again.
That's it. I give up.
If I were one of the unlucky few inside right now, I would hunker down somewhere, maybe with a loved one.
Cut to Rowlf sidling up with Bobo.
And thank the stars that the scene is now in the hands of our professional boys in black and blue, who surely have everything under control.
Cut to exterior Borkatami Plaza driveway.
I don't know, Mr. Chief. I feel like things are spiraling out of control.
Fozzie is speaking to Sam the Eagle as a SWAT team lines up beside them, preparing to enter the building.
The only control we need, Officer Fozzie, is control of that lobby.
You're going in? Are you out of your mind? There's hostages in there, for all we know.
For all we know, we don't know shoot. All we know is that someone aimed your car, and it could be the same goofball who has been talking to on the radio.
What about the body that fell out the window?
Who knows? Maybe a chicken, thinking it could fly.
The captain of the SWAT teams leans in and tells Sam that they're ready. Sam waves them forward.
Go forward. In the name of truth, liberty, and the American way.
The captain shushes Sam as the team head out.
Oh, yeah, wait, quiet. The secrecy, yes.
We watch as the SWAT team prepares to breach the building. Fozzie shakes with nerves, concerned that they're walking into a trap. Interior Gonz's office, close up on Gonz's walkie-talkie and his mouth.
Release the crazy Harry!
Interior Borkatami lobby elevators. We see the service elevator doors open to reveal two chickens pushing a dolly. On the dolly stands a shackled Crazy Harry, strapped down and wearing a Hannibal Lecter mask. The chickens wheel him to the front of the lobby. They pull out two keys and place them in the locks holding down the prisoner. The chickens turn to look at each other, grimly nod, then turn their keys. The shackles and the mask fall down, leaving Crazy Harry standing free. He glances around cautiously. Slowly, his mouth opens in a wide grin, and we see him lift a single TNT plunger. An explosion obscures the scene, and we cut to quick cuts between scenes. Crazy Harry runs from scene to scene, TNT plunger in hand, setting off explosions everywhere. By the SWAT team outside the lobby, near Fozzie and Sam the Eagle behind the cop cars, in the hostage room, Gonz's office, the newsroom. Explosions everywhere as everyone screams and Crazy Harry laughs. Exterior Borkatami Plaza driveway. Sam the Eagle and Fozzie scream as explosions go off all around Borkatami Plaza.
Enough. Pull back. This isn't working. Everyone pull back.
Interior 30th floor, hostages. The smoke clears, the building stops shaking. For a moment, there is silence. Rizzo suddenly stands, heads toward the terrorist's office. Immediately, one of the chickens moves to intercept.
Where do you think you're going?
Tired of sitting here waiting to see who gets us blown up first, them or your frog boy. Hi there.
What are you going to do? Sleaze them to death?
Hey, I gotta negotiate $1,000,000 breakfast food deals for breakfast. I can handle these beak brains. I want to speak to Gonz. Sprechen Sie chicken? Cluck, cluck.
He doesn't wait for an answer and walks into the office. Interior of the office. Rizzo interrupts Gonz and his terrorist chickens.
Hope I'm not interrupting.
What do you want?
The chicken shrugs.
Now, what I want is what I can give you. Look, let's be straight, okay? It's obvious you're not some dumb thug up here to snatch a few meatballs. Am I right?
Oh, you're very perceptive. You must know me.
Hey, I read papers. I watch CNN. I was given the script beforehand. Well, I'm a well-read rat. I say to myself, these guys are professionals. They're motivated. They're happening.
You get me. Ha! It's like you were my partner in another life.
Now, personally, I don't care about your politics. Maybe you're pissed at Jeff Porty. Maybe it's Betty Crocker, Tuscan Sam. Isn't none of my business. I figure you're here to negotiate. Am I right?
You're amazing. You figured this all out already?
Hey, business is business. You use your chickens, I use my charm and good looks. To put it in my terms, you're here on a hostile takeover, but you didn't expect to find yourself hopping mad with a green poison pill running around the building. Gonz, booby, I'm your rat knight. I'm your rodent in shining armor.
What are you saying?
The frog upstairs is ruining your plans. I can give him to you.
Interior 33rd floor on Kermit. Coughing, waving away the remaining dust and smoke from Crazy Harry's rampage. He leans tiredly against an elevator door. Fozzie comes in over the walkie-talkie.
How you feeling up there?
Little unappreciated.
On Fozzie, other officers monitor the conversation.
Hey, you're pretty swell. So hang in there, buddy. Hang in there.
Back on Kermit.
Thanks, partner.
Suddenly another voice besides Fozzie's comes over his walkie-talkie.
Touching, cowboy. Touching. Or should I call you Mr. Frog? Mr. Officer Kermit the Frog.
Kermit freezes. How much do they know? Intercut between Kermit and Gonz.
You know, most people just call me Kermit.
I have someone who wants to talk to you. A very special friend who was at the party with you tonight.
Kermit waits in stunned silence, expecting to hear the voice that tells him it's all over.
Hey there, Kerm boy.
Kermit looks up. He's relieved and shocked. Camera adjusts to show Rizzo sitting in the office with Gonz.
Rizzo?
A chicken brings Rizzo a Diet Coke.
Damn it. They're giving me a few minutes to try and talk some sense into you. I know you think you're doing your job, and I can appreciate that. But you're just dragging this out a little bit. None of us gets out of here until Mr. Gonz gets to negotiate with the LAPD.
Rizzo, what have you told them?
I told them we're old pawn school friends, and you were my guest at the party.
Kermit sighs, partially relieved.
Rizzo, you shouldn't be doing this.
Rizzo looks at Gonz, who gives him a nod.
Listen, Kermit, they want you to tell them where the fuses are, or they're going to hurt me.
Rizzo turns to Gonz and gives him a big thumbs up. Gonz returns the thumbs up.
Kermit, I think you can lighten up. The police are here. The great Gonz just needs his fuses, and we can all get on with our lives. Hey, I'm putting my rat body on the line for you here, buddy.
Don't think I don't know that. Put Gonz on. Gonz, listen to me. This little rat doesn't know how crazy you are. I do, though. No sane Muppet would have so much knowledge of Broadway musicals.
I'm dedicated to my craft, Kermit. Save your friend and give me the fuses.
Saying this, Gonz takes out an egg gun and places a carton of eggs on his desk, flipping it open.
Whoa, take it easy, those. What am I, a method actor?
Gonz, he's not my friend. I barely know him. Rizzo, tell him you don't know me.
Kerm, how can you say that after all these years? I've known you since you were a tadpole. Kermit.
Rizzo looks at Gonz and shrugs. Well, I tried. Gonz nods understandingly. He takes the walkie-talkie, presses the talk button, and reaches for the egg gun. Interior 33rd floor, Kermit. Over the radio, we hear eggs hitting their target as Rizzo screams. Interior 30th floor, Piggy and hostages. Miss Piggy gasps and the hostages scream as they see Rizzo's body covered in yolk slowly slide down the glass wall of Gonz's office. Exterior building. Sam the Eagle attempts to wrestle the radio away from Fozzie.
Sorry, I got distracted. We're page 51.
Yep.
You heard it yourself. This partners of yours has no respect for the rules. Tell him to stay out of it.
Read between the lines. He's doing everything he can up there. He seems like a very likable frog to me.
Attention, police! Attention, police!
Fozzie and Sam the Eagle quiet down. All the police officers huddle around the radio.
This is the great Gonz Gruber!
There's a pause as Gonz waits expectantly. The police officers all look at one another and shrug. When no one says anything,
Surely you've heard of me. The great Gonz? No?
interior Gonz's office.
Okay. Well, I have comrades in arms around the world, languishing in captivity. The following colleagues are to be released. The 7 roosters at the Lincoln Park Zoo. The barnyard animals at Mrs. Lacey's petting zoo on Maryland Center Island. In Canada, the 5 imprisoned chickens of Liberty de Paulette.
One of Gonz's chickens looks at him questioningly.
I heard about him on Reddit. Now, when these feathered brothers and sisters are free, we will leave the tower by helicopter with our hostages and arrive at LAX, where you will be given further instructions. You have 2 hours to comply.
2 hours? Are you insane? There are reports to file. Sign-offs needed. Hello? Hello?
Gonz hangs up on Sam. He changes channels, calling Bunsen in the vault room.
Are we on schedule?
Interior of the vault room. Bunsen and Beaker have been rewarded with another lock deactivated. Beaker gives Bunsen a thumbs up as the light on the vault door turns green. The door proceeds to swing open, sending Beaker flying across the room into the opposite wall.
1 more to go, then it's up to you. This one will take a miracle. I'm not much of a miracle guy myself. I prefer the scientific method.
It's Christmas, Bunsen. It's the time for miracles. Ha! Call me when you hit the last lock.
Interior Gonz's office. Gonz disconnects and looks at his chickens.
Keep an eye on the hostages. I'm going to check on the roof situation.
Exterior outside the building. Sam the Eagle has just been given a message.
It's here, now.
He fixes his clothing, adjusts his tie. A large black government car pulls up. Sam the Eagle steps up to it, his face reflected on the dark tinted window.
I'm the Eagle. I'm running the show here.
The window rolls down to reveal FBI agents Statler and Waldorf as they lean out, side by side, dark sunglasses covering their eyes.
If this is your work, I'd hate to see the encore.
I don't know. I hear it's just as explosive. Ah!
They laugh uproariously to themselves, just like that. Stepping out, we see they're dressed in dark suits. One of them tall, one of them short, taking off their sunglasses one after the other.
Statler?
And Waldorf. No relation.
No relation.
Again, they laugh to themselves. As Sam the Eagle reacts, we go to interior mechanical floor, tight on Gonz. He's checking on fireworks that the terrorists have been setting up all around and below the roof, but he isn't pleased. He turns and drops to the floor, low angle. He lands, furry legs bent, looks directly at a pair of bare webbed green feet. A gun barrel drops into the shot close to his head.
Lost?
A moment, then Gonz turns, looks up, seeing he's caught. In an instant, he knows what he must do. Much too obviously, he gathers himself, inhales deeply, clears his throat, swipes his hand down in front of his face, composing himself, before looking up and speaking in a twangy American accent.
Oh, God, please, don't kill me. You're one of them. I know it.
Oh, gee, sir. I won't hurt you. What are you doing up here?
Away up to the roof. I thought I could signal for help.
He starts in that direction.
Oh, forget it. They got a few trigger-happy chickens over there. You want to stay alive? Keep moving.
Gonz realizes he's going to have to try a different tack.
You're a frog?
It ain't easy being green in a building full of terrorists.
It works. The poor, frightened civilian seems to loosen up a little. Exterior Borkatami Plaza driveway.
We got 30, maybe 35 hostages on the 30th floor. 7 or 8 terrorists, mostly foul.
Some of them aren't bad.
No, I mean the chickens.
Standard A7 scenario.
Waldorf nods in agreement and turns to Sam the Eagle.
Thank you. We'll take it from here.
But I'm in charge.
Don't get your feathers too ruffled. We'll try to let you know if we need your help.
Yes, we'll call you if we need anything more blown up. Go!
Waldorf and Statler continue their laughing as they begin to walk away.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Waldorf and Statler turn. Sam the Eagle wants Fozzie to shut up.
Well-trained police department.
No!
No, Kermit. He's the one who gave us all the information. The reason you're facing 7 chickens instead of 12.
He's inside? Who is he?
He may be a cop. We're just checking in on it.
We know he doesn't mind my jokes.
So he may be a terrorist and also hard of hearing.
Laughing with Statler, they begin to walk away.
That's the same thing the terrorist said.
Really? They've got good taste. At least we know we're dealing with pros.
They leave, laughing to themselves. Cut to interior of the kitchen floor. Kermit and Gonz walk together. Gonz is still a nervous wreck.
They were everywhere! Chickens to the left, chickens to the right, shooting, threatening! Ah!
Kermit looks at the poor civilian on the edge of going to pieces and puts his hand on his shoulder.
Hey, relax, man. You smoke?
Gonz nods. Kermit takes out a pack of cigarettes with 2 left. He hands one to Gonz and puts one in his mouth. Taking out his lighter, he lights Gonz's, then his own. They stand there in silence and slowly inhale. Seconds later, they both start hacking and coughing and spitting out the cigarettes.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I know, right? Who smokes these?
After catching their breath,
Hey, you don't work for the Swedish chef, and well, you're not one of them, so,
Oh, I'm a cop from New York.
The Big Apple? Broadway? Really?
Gonz catches himself and gets back in character.
I mean, New York. What are you doing here?
Was invited to the Christmas party by the apple of my eye. I'm Kermit, by the way.
The great Godfrey. I'm Godfrey.
Kermit nods, though his eyes glance over at a list on the wall titled Employees Attending Christmas Party. In alphabetical order, the camera moves down and we see Godfrey.
Do you know how to use a handgun?
Gonz looks hesitant for a second, then begins to rattle off his resume.
Well, I did play a ravishing young Hedda Gabler in my community theater adaptation of Ibsen, but it was a plastic gun.
That's good enough for this.
Kermit hands him the gun, then turns away. We stay on him until he reacts to a click. New angle. Gonz is Gonz again. He holds the gun aimed at Kermit and talks calmly into his walkie-talkie.
I'm 33. Come quickly. Put down your gun and give me the fuses.
Kermit looks at him.
So you're the great Gonz.
The one and only. Ha!
I thought I heard the excitement for theater in your voice. You could have played it better, Godfrey, though.
I'm gonna count to 3.
Like you did with the chef.
Gonz pulls the trigger. The gun shoots a stream of water at Kermit's face. Squirt, astonishment. Squirt, squirt, squirt. Kermit steps in, calmly reclaiming his pistol.
Well, I never travel with a real gun. Makes me too nervous. Huh, you think I'm a schmuck, Gonz?
We hear the ding of an approaching elevator.
You were saying?
Kermit whirls in time to see 3 chickens spilling out of the elevator, firing eggs at him. Back to scene. Kermit runs, diving over a counter covered in cooking supplies. He looks back. Gonz has retreated to the safety of the group of chickens. Kermit curses himself, then retreats to A large pantry with floor-to-ceiling shelves full of ingredients, flour, sugar, salt, etc. Pursued by Gonz, he ducks and dodges. Eggs ricochet around him. Eggs and shells ping off of the ingredients, bags of flour bursting above his head. He looks up and sees Gonz and his cadre of coop dwellers firing from the doorway.
More eggs! Cover the room in eggs!
The chickens glance at him, then unload into the pantry. Kermit, eggs explode everywhere around him, covering the floor in yolk and eggshells. Every inch of floor is covered with more and more shells. Hiding behind a shelf, he sees the stairwell exit down the hall. He looks down at the eggshell-covered floor and then at his bare webbed feet, flexing them hesitantly. He sees only one option, takes it, and with a yelp, takes off down the hallway over the razor-sharp shells. Bags of flour and sugar explode all around him, millions of dollars of Swedish dining ingredients going to kitchen heaven. Kermit reaches the end of the hallway, dives, and rolls to the stairwell door, back to scene. The chickens are clucking angrily, furious to have lost the frog. Behind them, Gonz sifts through the rubble, then comes over smiling. He's holding the fuses.
Smile! The show can go on!
Interior stairwell. The door jars open. Kermit all but crawls inside. As he passes the camera, we see his dragging foot leaving a trail of egg yolk and shells on the floor. Interior the vault room. Bunsen and a frazzled, banged-up Beaker look up at the vault door as a buzzer sounds. Beaker jumps back anxiously. A graphic flashes. Electromagnetic seal engaged. Cannot be disarmed at this location.
Now would be a good time to load up that miracle, Mr. Gruber. We broke through the last door and the electromagnetic hammer came down as expected.
Intercut. Interior top floor, Borgatami. Chickens in the background are installing the recovered fuses.
Our friendly police should be right on schedule. I'll be down shortly to join you for some Christmas cheer.
Interior bathroom night. Wincing in pain, Kermit washes his webbed foot in a sink basin.
Ow, ow, owie.
A voice speaks over the walkie-talkie.
Kermit, you still with us?
Yeah, but all things being equal, I'd rather be back home on my lily pad.
Exterior outside with Fozzie.
Same here, partner, except my lily pad's the stage. I still perform now and then, but it's not like it used to be. There's some bits I just can't do anymore.
What's got you freezing up on stage, Fozzie?
Fozzie doesn't answer right away. At the same time, Kermit swallows, gingerly wrapping a bandage around his yolky foot.
I realized I couldn't do what I had to do anymore. Not since the accident.
Kermit tightens the bandage, forehead bathed in sweat.
The way you drive, I can see why.
I pied a kid.
Realizing what he's hearing for the first time, Kermit pauses what he's doing.
11 years ago, it was dark in the club. He was passing right in front of the stage, looked like a performer. Didn't know he was a damn audience member. Yeah, I had all the right excuses. But afterwards, I really couldn't throw a pie again.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make a joke of it. I was really in the dark about your past.
Don't worry about it. But you're really going to be in the dark now. LAPD's not calling the shots anymore. FBI is here and they're about to cut the power.
Kermit is about to react as the lights suddenly go out. Cut to exterior of the building as the lights blink out, floor by floor. Interior of the vault room. Gonz, Bunsen, and Beaker huddle around the computer monitor screen. The lights have gone out. The screen flashes. Emergency power only. Main power cut. Final lock disengaged. The safe door opens slowly. A bright shaft of light from within the vault inching across the room. We see the light pass over Gonz's face as he stands in stunned silence, mouth agape. We hear music and it begins to get louder and louder. It's the song Waterloo. The safe door finishes its ponderous move, clunks to a halt. Beaker and Bunsen are stunned. Inside the vault is ABBA, backlit by beautiful lights. The camera has a 70s Vaseline filter over the scene. The band stops playing mid-song.
Van Hunda, you're not the Swedish chef.
Gonz runs into the vault, unable to contain himself.
I've done it! The Swedish chef's great treasure is all mine!
He moves from member to member.
Bjorn, Benny, Frida, Agnetha! Ha!
They stand somewhat confused, not used to anyone interrupting their vault recording sessions.
Can someone tell us what's going on?
Bunsen and Beaker walk into the vault.
Ah, yes. Terribly sorry. You see, this is just part of a larger plan, you see. Nothing to worry about here.
In the background, Gonz is singing Dancing Queen and dancing between the band members. Beaker struggles through his initial embarrassment and tries to get an autograph from Agnetha.
But is this part of the show?
Gonz finishes his dance, stopping in front of Bunsen and Benny.
In a way, let's just say you've been picked up by a new label!
The band exchanges confused glances between themselves.
Bag 'em up!
Bunsen and Beaker pull out a taser each, zapping the 4 band members in quick succession.
Great job, everyone!
Thank you.
Beaker beeps a thank you and then accidentally tases himself, his body flying across the vault with a meep scream. Interior mechanical floor. Kermit has hobbled to the top of the building, retracing his steps. He's curious about what Gonz was doing up there.
What were you up to, Gonz?
He looks up. Seeing something, he moves closer and climbs up on a thick pipe, flicks his lighter on and holds it high. His POV. Fireworks everywhere. Names like Big Kahuna, Mega Sparkles, and Celebration Supreme. Back to scene. He reacts, quickly extinguishing the lighter.
Oh my God!
He drops to the floor and grabs his walkie-talkie.
Fozzie! Listen to me! It's a setup! He's got the entire roof rigged to go up like the 4th of July! Fireworks and streamers everywhere!
Suddenly, an egg explodes his walkie-talkie into 100 pieces. Kermit looks up and sees Camilla the chicken standing at the end of the hallways. Kermit yelps, turns, and runs down a hallway labeled Roof Access with Camilla giving chase. Exterior outside the building, police lines. Fozzie is looking up at the tower.
Kermit, hello? Can you hear me?
Silence on the other end of the line. We hear the sound of helicopters in the distance. Fozzie turns to see 2 choppers inbound. Interior, an FBI chopper in flight. Through the canopy, we see another flanking chopper. Statler and Waldorf, helmets and mics on. They're both leaning out the open door of the helicopter. Waldorf is inspecting a map.
Stay low! They're assuming we won't be coming with gunships.
You know what they say when you assume?
You get taken out by an FBI attack chopper!
They laugh riotously.
You know, there's a chance we could lose 20 to 25% of the hostages.
I can live with those numbers.
So 75% of the hostages.
The laughter continues as the choppers buzz the city streets. Exterior of the roof. The door of the roof bursts open. Kermit vaults through as 2 eggs explode behind him. He jumps behind a large vent. In the distance, we hear helicopters. Camilla is at the door, cautiously peeking out. Kermit has a moment to breathe and looks around. For the first time, noticing that the rest of the roof is covered in explosives as well. Fireworks, sparklers, party streamers, and confetti cannons, all rigged to blow at any moment. The sound of the choppers is closer now. Kermit looks up, sees the military birds closing in on the tower. He throws his arms up to signal to them. Interior FBI chopper. The pilot notices Kermit waving.
Looks like we have a green-armed terrorist on our roof.
Green-armed? That's 1 level below red-handed!
I'm gonna let him have it.
The helicopter circles around the roof and comes in for a low pass above Kermit. Exterior of the roof. Kermit looks up at the incoming helicopter with the FBI duo hanging out the side.
You're pretty green for a chicken!
Pretty, yes. Pretty, not so much.
The FBI agents laugh as the helicopter buzzes over Kermit, who has to leap out of the way to avoid getting hit.
Hey, you two, I'm on your side!
They come in for another passive insult. Statler and Waldorf laughing all the way.
Oh, time to show this chicken what justice looks like.
Presumption of innocence and the right to a fair trial.
I said justice, not a fairy tale. Ah! Oh.
The laughing FBI duo dive at Kermit once again. Interior of the vault room. Gonz turns to the camera, walkie-talkie in hand.
Blow the roof! Time to celebrate!
Exterior of the roof. Desperate, Kermit looks around, sees a collection of colorful party streamers on the ground. With a chopper looming up behind him, lining up for another pass, Kermit unreels 3 yards of a cherry red streamer, loops it around his back and under his legs, and ties it to the railing. He looks over the edge, hesitates.
Oh boy, I really do hate flying.
With Statler and Waldorf laughing and hurling insults in slow motion behind him, he runs and jumps. Cut to, at the other end of the roof, Crazy Harry is holding the plunger for the explosive fireworks display. Smiling, he presses it. Long shot, the roof. The helipad explodes in a light show of ABBA-themed fireworks. The explosions propel Crazy Harry, and he flies into the camera, screaming and out of frame. Fireworks shoot out in every which direction, some spelling out the words ABBA, some exploding to look like the band's faces. Dancing Queen is spelled out in the air with fireworks, one letter at a time, the final letter hitting Statler and Waldorf's chopper, igniting it and sending it falling to the roof of the building. Cut to interior, an FBI chopper falling in flames inside the crashing chopper.
Any parting words?
Looks like it's curtains for us.
The only thing landing worse than your punchlines is this chopper.
Wide shot as we hear their laughter continue as the helicopter tumbles to the ground, ending as it explodes. Cut back to Kermit. Dangling against the side of the building, he ducks and winces as flaming confetti and sparklers soar past him. Exterior roof. The red streamer begins to tear under Kermit's weight. Kermit drops a few feet. He swallows, then kicks against the side of the building, his eggy feet leaving smears on the window. Wincing as more fireworks and confetti zip by, Kermit kicks off from the building, swings back 10 feet, and sails back in, screaming. Interior office floor. Kermit smashes through the shattered glass, sails inside, rolls onto the floor, plowing through furniture and decor. Finally, he stops, catches his breath with relief, rises to one knee. Exterior roof. The streamer finally rips and begins to fall to the ground. Interior office floor. Kermit notices the streamer fall past the window, but he's still attached to it. He yells and begins undoing his knots in a panic. Moments later, he pauses, realizing that there is nothing on the other end of the streamer, and there is no danger.
Oh yeah, right.
Calmly, he removes the streamer and heads towards the stairwell. Exterior scene of helicopter crash. Soot covered and with their clothes in tatters, Statler and Waldorf climb out of the helicopter wreckage.
Well, that could have gone worse.
Oh!
We could have had to stay to watch the rest of the movie.
The two laugh, then hack and cough as their internal injuries become more apparent. Interior of the ballroom. We hear fireworks and explosions as the building continues to be rocked by the ongoing rooftop show.
Let's move!
The unconscious ABBA band members are piled on top of each other on a pushcart, topped with a wild assortment of records, awards, and band merchandise. An unconscious Beaker rounds out the top of the pile. Gonz hangs on to Ms. Piggy while a chicken pushes the cart. They're stopped in their tracks by a yell from the hallway.
Gonz!
A battered Kermit stumbles into view in the doorway, backlit by sparks still tumbling down from the roof above. He holds an egg gun at the ready. Gonz, not that surprised, pulls Miss Piggy closer, a gun pointed at her side.
Kermit?
Oh, hey, gee, hi, Piggy.
Oh, Kermit, I've been so worried about you. This trip hasn't exactly been the most stimulating host.
So that's what this is all about, Gonz? Schmoozing with your favorite band?
Not just any band, musical royalty. With a band like this in my act, I can have my name and lights in any theater on Broadway.
So why the whole production? The explosions, the fireworks.
What's the old saying? Any press is good press. Why not get started early with the marketing? Now, I've got a curtain call to make. If you drop your gun.
Carmen hesitates.
This time, the cowboy does not walk into the sunset singing Oklahoma.
Well, gee, I don't think they were really walking. I think it was more like an ensemble number.
Enough! Stop it! Or the diva gets it!
Piggy, visibly upset, turns her head at the mention of the word diva.
What was it you said? Yippee-ki-yay, mother frogger!
He aims at Kermit.
Diva? Ooh, a diva?
She whips her head back in anger, slamming Gonz's face.
No, diva!
Kermit spins and throws the entire egg cannon at the remaining chicken, knocking it out. Miss Piggy continues berating Gonz, punctuating each word with a punch to Gonz's face and body.
I am a beautiful, gorgeous, successful.
Each kid has pushed Gonz further and further back towards the window.
Pig!
With her final word, she utters a loud "Hi-ya!" and karate chops Gonz, smashing him into the window, smashing it into pieces, vault room wider. Gonz starts to topple through, but with his last reserve of strength, grabs Miss Piggy's wrists, and she's yanked off of her feet. Back to scene. Gonz goes out the window, pulling Miss Piggy with him. Kermit leaps forward, catches her inside arm near the elbow at the last minute. Exterior building, long shot. Kermit hangs halfway out of the window, straining to hold on to Miss Piggy as Gonz drags her out. He braces against the window frame and strains to pull her closer. Gonz is hanging by Miss Piggy's watch, still on her wrist. Kermit struggles to keep her from going out the window. Tight shot on just Muppet hands. We see a blue Muppet hand holding a watch on a pink Muppet wrist. A green Muppet hand tries to unclasp the watch. The Muppet hands are very obviously inarticulate props, unable to flex their fingers at all. Another blue Muppet hand enters the scene, trying to shoo the green hand away. Then another green hand enters, and an orange one? The Muppet hands flail, hitting at one another, smacking blindly until the watch clasp is opened and wide shot. Gonz's face registers his horror as he suddenly drops. We listen to his scream all the way down. Exterior Borkatami Plaza. Gonz crash lands on a police cruiser, smashing it and sending glass flying. When he gets up, he's surrounded by officers. Dazed, hurt, and confused, he attempts to stand but falls back down.
Did I make the curtain?
He passes out as Fozzie puts a cup onto one of his hands.
Curtain? I don't think you may know Curtain, but if you're interested in the show, I'm doing a gig Saturday night.
Fozzie's pitch for his show trails off as the camera pans back up to the smashed open window. Interior of the vault room. Miss Piggy and Kermit are standing at the open window looking down at the scene. Miss Piggy pulls Kermit closer and holds him tight.
It's okay, my special little frog. You're safe now.
Oh, Piggy, we have to stop meeting like this.
They laugh and sigh, taking in the city skyline in the early dawn light.
You have to pay me back for that watch, though. It wasn't cheap.
Kermit looks at the camera, unimpressed. Dissolved 2, exterior Borkatami Plaza, dawn. A crowd watches as the front doors of the building open. We see Miss Piggy almost dragging Kermit, surrounded by SWAT. She's reveling in the media attention. As reporters rush the group and start shouting questions, Kermit breaks free from the scrum and surges through the crowd.
Fozzie! Fozzie! Are you here?
The crowd eddies and surges. Suddenly, Fozzie is there, and Kermit knows it's him. They stare at each other, 10 feet apart, and then they're grinning, extending their hands. But somehow a shake isn't enough. And they're embracing each other like Muppets who have lived through egg-fueled combat together, which in fact is the truth.
Fozzie, you were my rock down here. I couldn't have made it without your encouragement.
A bashful Fozzie takes off his hat, wringing it in his hands.
Ah, gee, you're making me blush here.
I'm serious. Hey, I'd like you to meet Miss Piggy.
Pleased to meet you. I've heard you're quite a handful, quite a catch, catch. That's what I meant to say.
I sure hope you did, Bob.
Just then, Sam the Eagle barges forward.
I want your beef, Kermit. You got some things to answer for. Interfering with the police business, destruction of a police helicopter, feathers, eggs, and baking supplies everywhere.
A scream causes Kermit to turn. His POV. There in the doorway is Camilla the chicken, feathers blackened and scorched. As the crowd panics, trying to escape, Camilla locks eyes with Kermit and shrieks, charging at him to attack. Kermit and Miss Piggy scream in unison and cover their eyes. But the chicken is stopped in her tracks. The shriek suddenly silenced. Kermit looks up and sees Camilla has been struck in the face with a cream pie. She slowly crumbles to the ground. Kermit looks back to see Fozzie still standing post-throw. His hand is rock steady. He sees Kermit's look.
Chicken pot pie? Anyone? Waka waka.
He looks around expectantly, waiting for laughs.
Fozzie, that was amazing.
You really think so? I just thought of it right now because I had a pie, then I saw a chicken, so chicken pot pie is like.
No. I mean saving our lives.
Oh, I couldn't let my little buddy get hurt.
Suddenly, Kermit and Miss Piggy squint as lights pan onto them. The newsman pushes his way forward, mic extended like a weapon.
A news flash. I'm here with Kermit and Miss Piggy, hard-boiled cop and successful sales diva. Any comments on your incredible ordeal?
Without a beat, Miss Piggy punches him in the chops. He falls, dropping the mic with an electronic squeal. Kermit looks at Miss Piggy, amazed. On the ground, a frazzled newsman fixes his glasses.
Did you get that?
Kermit and Miss Piggy continue on, turn towards Rowlf's limo. Rowlf is standing beside the open door. Kermit and Miss Piggy enter from opposite sides. Inside, a drunken Bobo sits between Kermit and Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy looking uncomfortable with the amount of room Bobo is taking up.
If this is their idea of Christmas, I gotta be here for New Year's.
The camera adjusts to show the rear window where Bobo puts his arms around Kermit and Miss Piggy, bringing them in close for a hug. As they drive off, we fade out. The end.
This was amazing, you all. Thank you so much for joining us, and well, we'll see you at the next one.